Hello, hello. We're here to comment another game of SPL. We're still in week one, and we're going to see Mako against Dark Eeveon. All right, so Mako, I think she played last year as well in Black and White, and I don't remember how she did at all. And Dark Eeveon also played last year. I think he went positive, like barely. Some people may think he got a little lucky in his run, which would be maybe correct, but it's best of one, so it is what it is, right? And as for Mako, I honestly have no recollection of how she did, if she even was in, but I believe she was, and I don't know, she probably went either barely positive or barely negative, I would expect. So anyway, so I don't really have much to say about the players. Like in some other matchups, there's the people I'm not too familiar with. All right, so teams. Mako went pulled up with a dice team from two SPLs ago or last SPL. Uh, it's uh, Dice used this in SPL. That I remember. I don't think it's from last year. I think it's from 2 years ago, but maybe I'm mixing things up. And as for Eeveon, this is surely a choice for a team bring. Problem is that he's loaded Gengar, Starmie, Kingdra, and there's a Blissey on the other side, so I have very low hopes for this game. That said, Dragonite could do a lot if it crits Slowbro, so there's always that out. And there's also Scissor, right? So this is a very offensive team. You have probably double Hazard's Ferrothorn, and then obviously Spin Block Gengar. And then you have Kingdra, which I assume is Rain Dance, typical star. The rest is kind of the usual. It's a style I've looked into for a little bit. I just train this Kingdra on hyper offense. You remove Sand, which obviously helps Dragonite, and it's also nice for, say, Starmie. And obviously, Kingdra Rain is a beast. Unfortunately, at least for this one specific game, there's a Blissey on the other side, so I'm afraid this is a lost cause for Eeveon. Like Sand and Blissey, and plus there's also Terrakion. Like if well, Terrakion can't really come in that easily, right? And it loses the 1v1 against most of these. So that's at least that. We Darkvian also has no ground type, so Zapdos is ironically pretty annoying. In fact, I believe you should lead Zapdos in this game and just click Heat Wave. Because if I remember correctly, it's Volt Switch, Heat Wave, Ice Roost. And the idea was that, well, you have Slowbro that beats a lot of physical attackers, but it struggles against stuff like Swords Dance Escadrille, and Zapdos covers that beautifully. Both also are pretty sturdy fighting resist, which is always nice when you place on your team. Now, obviously, there are some, let's say, not maybe super obvious, but this team is very weak to Keldeo, for example, which is why I will personally never bring it. But hey, if it works for the people bringing it, then more power to them. Right, absolutely lead Ferrothorn, and here I will lead Zapdos. And just click rocks with Ferro. If you lead Kindra, that's okay, but you're revealing a lot. Alright, so Eeveon is just like clicks. Alright, so I think his idea was I lead Kindra and against Zapdos, then I switch out as the Zapdos hard switches out to Blissey, because there's a decent chance that Zapdos on this team is kind of slow, and obviously you don't want to lose Zapdos or at least tank a lot of damage on it early game, especially not against a unrevealed Scissor, right? Because Scissor can kind of beat everything else. Not really Xka, but it can get past it with some plays. And so he led with it, but then Mako just wall switch. These Zapdos might be faster though, so I have no idea. Is there a way to know this? No. Right, so Tyranitar probably just... Oh, it's Bantar. And goodbye. So no hazards. He's already looking a bit shaky. What's your game plan as Eeveon here? Uh, Without even rocks, I'm not sure how you win this game. So you go Gengar. Maybe this is a Gengar set that completely annihilates this team, but I wouldn't bet on it. That did a decent damage. Wait, is this Scarf Terrakion? Maybe? Oh, it is Scarf Terrakion, wow. Oh man, this is... Oh man, this disaster. Start me without balloon. Oh, so 20%. I honestly have no idea how Eeveon can win this with rocks up, maybe, but it's just getting very sad. Okay, in comes Excadrill, nice U-turn into Starmie. You know that Terrakion is the Scarf first, so this guy is slower than Starmie. You just surf, yeah, 20%. Is even sadder. Okay, rapid spin. But the problem is that Blissey is the rocker, right? So you just pick T-Wave here as Blissey. Oh, I guess you can just rocks here. Yep, T-Wave, and now just pun rocks. It's just leftover suitor. Just good Zapdos. And then Rain will be up, so I guess you can go Kingdra and click Hydro Pump. And if you... Like, Blissey cannot switch into this, okay? Not at 73% with Rain up, at least. Okay, back to Starmie. And... If this Kingdra was mixed, maybe, but... Sub, right? But now what? Focus Blast miss. This is just... I mean... even if you hit the first Focus Blast, I don't know. I'm still not seeing any out here. Okay, but punch. I guess you risk it being flame, but it should be beam on this. And just roast. Just believe in yourself. Okay, but if you're SD, it's not that far away from a win, or am I tripping? Unfortunately, this top 26 para was a bit sad. If he loses there and then gets an SD up, he could win maybe, but now it's very hard. I believe you just surf here. I think this is Specs Kingdra, right? Which I think it's a bit weird because you cannot rely on Raiden's Starmie. There is a non-zero chance this Raiden's Gengar. I believe it learns it. Okay, I mean, just as the just Bullet Punch then. Well, problem here is that, yeah, Tyranitar comes in and Slowbro's full health. You need to crit Slowbro. Let's see the Dragonite item. This game is over, man. It's 55. Ice Beam, Yache Berry. Surprisingly kind of close. Like, the Scizor could have won, actually. Because the Zapdos was kind of tossed, I feel like. This was not well played by Mako, but she had such a massive team advantage, and I mean, Eeveon played pretty, like he played to his outs, and he got almost there, but come on, man, what is this? Fertor Gengar. I'm not convinced. I don't mind the hyper offense Ferrotor with trainers. I think the idea is interesting for sure. I'm not sure about the execution. Um, I've been toying around with something like this, or at least just Rain Dance plus Kindra, and I haven't had the chance to test it yet. But I think there is something here. I just am not convinced by these exact guys, and a bit unlucky that it was just Choice Band, Fire Punch, Tyranitar. Any other Titar, you get rocks up with Ferro, and you're actually in a decent spot, I think. But yeah, also, mm, third one. No, I think third one was the right play. So again, you lead Kingdra to force like your opponent is leading Zapdos in this matchup. There's no way they don't. So your idea is you lead Kingdra and threaten a strong move, say a Draco Meteor, and your opponent should switch to Bliss, say, because you expect your Kingdra to be faster. Because on this type of team, Zapdos is probably max defense, I will say. That's what I would expect at least. And so your opponent doesn't want to get Dracoed, and so they have to switch to Blissey or even Tyranitar. So you switch to Ferro, and if Blissey is in, then you get free rocks, and you're in a decent spot. If Tyranitar comes out, but no, because obviously you will die to Fire Punch, but you would notice how much damage Tyranitar takes from Draco. And well, nah, I think Tindra was actually a pretty smart lead. It just opponent didn't care, which might mean it's faster than Kindra. That's a tough one to know. Well, and then this where it gets. It's probably lost here. Well, not necessarily lost. As we've seen, Caesar almost won. There was a window for Caesar to win. Of course, while paralyzed, the chances were very low, but hey. Like, imagine if rocks were up here. This would be so much easier for Eeveon. Like, Blissey would have to come out so much earlier, and Zapdos also would be way lower. Yeah. Nah, I don't. Okay, you turn me in. Yeah, grab up some momentum. I wonder what the Starmie item is. Hmm. No balloon, you're rain dance, so I assume you're like surf, thunder, spin. Uh, do you run like Colbur Berry? Chilan Berry? Chilan Berry would be pretty funny, but I don't think this is Chilan. I think it's Colbur. But I don't know. Doesn't really make that much sense to be Colbur though. I was also surprised that it wasn't Natural Cure. I think you want Natural Cure on this team. I understand you have Rain Dance and then Analytic Surf. If your opponent switches, is a pretty strong nuke, but I don't know. Yeah, another issue of this team is that it's very weak to Thunder Wave. Like, you have nothing to go to Thunder Wave. This is also why a lot of modern hyper offense teams prefer, say, Conkeldurr, because, yeah, it gets paralyzed. Kind of sucks, because paralysis is a 1-hit KO, but at least it's a Conkeldurr, right? It was already slower than everything, and now you also have Guts. Other teams, if you go for this style of hyper offense, Thunder Wave is kind of a death sentence. And so, yeah. Could Eeveon play this any other way? I mean, of course, in Insight, you're like, oh, why did he stay in with Ferro on Titar? But Choice Band Fire Punch, a bit I didn't expect it myself, so yeah. And like, it's also crazy how kind of close Shizor got to win. I know I've said it like 4 times already, but like, it's actually insane how close it was. Especially if Gengar hit the first Focus Blast. It would have been even. Gengar also kind of strong in this matchup, although obviously Tyranitar will cut into your healing pretty terribly. So, but it could be I expect this to be Rain Dance. If it learns it, I don't remember. Otherwise, it's probably Pain Split. And that will be pretty strong in this matchup, as in it will win if it hit Focus Blasts, which it didn't, sadly. And here, okay, so you have a Scissor at 57%. Slowbro, okay, the problem is that it may seem close to winning, but it's not, because obviously even you have SD up for free, you have to U-turn out of Slowbro, and well, Exari will die, but Terrakin wouldn't, and then you have to come back in, and then SD again, and that's a lot of turns where you're paralyzed. So it wasn't hopeless, but it wasn't even that close upon further inspection. And man, not having rocks here, just so sad to watch. Okay, good king. Yeah. Not much of a game, really. Very hard walled and catastrophic turn 2 that completely killed the win chances, and still it was only a crate away. Like, if you crate here, the game, it can win. Obviously you need to outrage, not confuse in 2 turns. You need a 3 turns outrage, or if it's a 2 turns, to not self it. But yeah, beyond that, um yeah. That's Mons, right? Mons is Mons. And it is what it is. Why did Mako type sorry in chat at the end? I don't see any. I mean, yeah, Caesar stayed fully parad maybe a little bit more than 25% of the times, but come on now. Oh yeah, she dodged a focus blast. That was kind of annoying, yeah, actually. If Gengar is pain split, mm, yeah, if Gengar is pain split, I think hitting the first focus blast gives you. Nah, because you're permanently walled by Blissa. You don't have enough PPs, right? So it would have to be a weird Gengar set, which it probably wasn't. And so never mind. Like, you PP stall each other, but Blissa has way more. Like, you have 96 just with these, plus 16 spoils. Gengar has what? 32 pain splits. Yeah, no, this was never happening anyway, so I'm not sure what else could have been done by the Gengar to win from that spot, but obviously still annoying. Yeah, that's it. That's the game. The idea is good, but needs a little bit more polish, I think. This team, I don't know, man. I don't like it at all. I didn't like it when it was new, and I definitely do not like it now. Like, are we seriously loading teams from another player from 2 SPLs ago? Like, you know what? Whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm not the one playing, right? If I was this good, I should be playing, right? And I'm not, so there's that. But yeah, let it be known, I do not like this at all. And I don't particularly like this either. But yeah. Yeah, I am a hater. What can you do? But yeah, um, it still was fun to watch, mostly because Evian like played to his played to his house pretty well. He played his heart out, I will say. So that was fun, but uh, it still felt bad because it was so one-sided. Even despite the fact that one of the two players obviously played very well and the other one just didn't have to play. They just had to click the obvious button every turn, and yeah, that's just how it goes. But yeah, see you next time.